So welcome back to the build of the Bullet Bobby XXL. The first thing I'm going to do on the build is I want to get the nose cone prepped and ready before I start any other part of the rocket. We are out in my workshop and I cleared up some space on my workbench, so hopefully this will come out okay. But so what we have out here is I have a glue mat down and I'm putting on some nitrile gloves because we're going to be working with CA glue. And this is why I'm actually out in my workshop, is because I want the ventilation, because we're going to be spreading quite a bit of this and the fumes can get pretty potent on this. I have some sheets of wax paper, just regular old wax paper, and get those out the way. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put the glue down on the nose cone and then we'll spread it with the wax paper. We'll just do a section at a time. So I have some Insecure. This is a medium gap filling glue. It's a 5 to 2nd cure, but we'll have a little bit more working time. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to kind of spread it around like this. And I do have the bottom of the nose cone taped, just so we don't get any glue on that part that goes into the rocket. So we're just going to take our wax paper and we're just going to spread it around like this, just to get it in those gaps. And this is a very strong smell. Make sure we get it down here near the shoulder. Now this may take more than one application. So I will just continue doing this until the entire nose cone is covered, and then we'll let this cure, and then I'll come back and we'll hit it with the sander. So to sand the nose cone, I'm using my orbital sander. I have a 180 grit sanding pad on it, and I also have a sanding sponge attachment, and this lets the sanding pad contour a bit to the shape of the nose cone. I'm primarily using the edge of the sander and just making a lot of movements, trying not to sand in one spot, and just continuing like that. After sanding for a bit, I do switch over to a sanding block, and this sanding block is one that lets you attach the orbital sander sanding pads to it. So I'm still using the 180 and just going around parts of the nose cone that was hard to hit with the orbital sander. So after I finish sanding, I do repeat the process one more time. I add some more CA glue, spread it with the wax paper, and then sand with the 180. And then I switch over to a 320 until the nose cone is smooth. Okay, once I've completed the sanding, I'm just hitting the nose cone with a little soapy water and wiping it down to get some of that sanding dust off. And you can see how smooth the nose cone looks. The striations are hardly visible at all at this point, and the nose cone is very smooth to the touch. So we're going to call this nose cone complete, and we can continue building the rocket.